Hey there and welcome back to the channel. My name is Janos and today I want to introduce you to a new tool which can help you automate repetitive work and make your life easier. The tool is called Zapier and it allows you to connect different apps together. So you could say something like, if this happens in tool A, then do this in tool B. And this can be useful in many different ways. There are literally thousands of apps that you can connect to Zapier. And you could do things like, whenever I upload a new YouTube video, then publish a promotion post to LinkedIn, to Twitter, to Facebook. You could also do something like, whenever somebody enters in or submits a form on our website, then send me a Slack notification. Or even whenever I get a new email with an attachment to it, then save that attachment to my Google Drive folder. You see there are lots of different ways. These are just some of the most basic ones. So let me show you how you can use this tool and how powerful it really is. Alright, so I'm now in my Zapier account and we are going to create a new Zap together. Zapier automations are called Zaps. An automation in Zapier usually has two parts, the first one being the trigger and then the second one being one or multiple action steps that follow the trigger. The trigger is, as the name suggests, what actually causes the workflow or the Zap to run in the first place. So this is what needs to happen in order for this Zap, this automation, to trigger. The action steps that follow, they determine what actually happens after the workflow is triggered. So what is the automation actually doing? Alright, so now let's actually see how this works. So I am in my Zapier account, as I said. We've created a new Zap and now we're in the Zap builder pretty much. And the first thing that we can do is choose this trigger here. So we can search through the apps that are available to us to choose that. And what we're going to build is actually the workflow that I described earlier, that when somebody or when you get an email with an attachment, then we want to save that attachment in our Google Drive folder. So what we're going to do is search for Gmail like this and then click on the app. Next, we want to choose the trigger event. So that's the actual event that needs to happen for the Zap to trigger. If you click on that, you see there are multiple events for Gmail. You can do things like whenever I add a new label to my Gmail account, whenever I get a new email, and so on. So there's many different ones you can choose from. In our case, we want to trigger the Zap when we get a new attachment. So we'll click on this and then click on continue. Now next we need to choose an account, and if you haven't worked with Zapier before, you will need to connect your actual Gmail account to Zapier to make this possible, and then you can click on this and actually choose the account that you want to use. In my case, I want to use this one, so I click on it and then I can actually continue. Next, we have to set up the actual trigger. So we have more configuration options to specify exactly what we want the Zap to trigger from. So we could say what different inboxes or what labels should this Zap actually be triggered in. For now, we'll just choose the inbox because we just want it to actually trigger in our inbox. The search string, we'll leave that as it is, so we'll not enter anything here, and then we can actually click on continue. Next, we have to test the trigger. So we have to test if what we've set up till this point actually works. And this is something that you will have to do consistently throughout your Zap creation, because Zapier wants to make sure that what you've actually set up actually works and that it does the thing that you want it to do. Because sometimes you might have gotten an error in your setup, and then this is nice to figure out that you actually need to change something. So we'll just click on test trigger. And then Zapier will actually find a new an email in our inbox that actually fits our criteria, like it has got right here. So this is an email that has got an attachment to it. So that's what it found right here. So now that we see that it actually worked, we can click on continue to set up the second part, which is the action. In this case, we want to use the Drive action for this. So we'll just search for Drive and then click on Google Drive. And then for the action event, we'll actually choose upload file. And we can continue. And now again, you would have to connect your Google Drive account. In my case, I've set this up already, so I can just click on choose an account and choose my Google Drive account. Now I can continue, and then we can actually set up the action. So here we have the configuration options for Google Drive. So I can actually set up in which drive I want to upload this. So if I click on this, I'm just going to click on my Google Drive like this. And then next we can actually choose the actual folder that it should be uploaded to. So I've created a folder called email attachments. So I'm going to choose this. Next I can choose the actual folder that I want to upload the file to. So I'll click on this. And I've set up a folder called email attachment over here, which I'll choose for this Zap. The last thing that we need to do is to choose which file we actually want to upload. And this can be a bit tricky to understand in the beginning, so I'm going to show you how this actually works. So all we need to do pretty much is we need to tell Google Drive which file we actually want to upload in each of these steps. And to do this, we can use the data that we actually had in the first step of our Zap. So Zapier allows you to access the data from all the different steps that all your Zaps have in order to use it in other apps, and that's what makes it so powerful. So if I click on this, let me show you how this works. So here it says insert data, and now we see all the different options. If I click on the all options thing right here, you see all the options we have from the first step of our Zap. So all the data that we got from the email trigger that we have. And now we can choose what the file is in this case. So here we have this attachment, and this is actually the file of the attachment that we got in our email. So this is obviously what we want to upload to Google Drive, and so this is also what we'll choose right here. You can also edit the other options right here, but in this case we don't want to do that. We'll just click on continue, and then we can actually test our Zap again. And now we actually see that the test was successful. We see a upload file was sent to Google Drive about 40 seconds ago. Yeah, so now we know that this test was actually successful, and I can actually show you. So this was the email that I was talking about. And here in my email attachments folder, this is the attachment that was just uploaded. So once that's done, we can actually turn on the Zap. This is only possible once we've tested all of these steps and all of them were successful. We can actually turn it on, and then from now on, this automation will actually do the work that we told it to do. Lastly, we can also give it a name. So we could say upload attachments to Drive and save it like that. And now we've created our very own first Zap. Now to finish off this video, I want to show you some of the more advanced Zaps that I'm actually using myself, so that you can get a bit of a better understanding of what's actually possible using Zapier. Because what we've done now is like the most basic Zap that there is, but you can actually do much more advanced Zaps that use much more different tools together, so they have many more steps, and that once the automation triggers, the Zap actually does like 10 or 20 different tasks in all these different tools, so it can save you a huge amount of time. So let me actually show you some of these examples. This one right here is a nice example, I think, and what it actually does is it delivers a custom digest of blog posts to my email address. So it's a bit more advanced, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically what it does is I have the the trigger is I have an RSS feed, so I watch different RSS feeds and get new blog articles from them. So when somebody publishes a new article on a blog that I like, then this Zap will trigger, and then it will only continue if it matches certain criteria that I've set. So I don't want to see all the blog posts. I just want to see some of them that are actually interesting to me. And then it will create a digest. So it will create a list of all these blog posts, and then once a week it will actually send me that list of blog posts, so that I can check them out and look through them and see which ones interest me. And so I don't have to go visit these blogs all day and check if there's been new articles. I just get one simple digest mail every week, which I can look through and read my favorite articles. Next up, we have another a really useful Zap that I use, which triggers whenever I upload a new YouTube video. So the trigger again is new video in YouTube channel, and then it creates a task for myself in Todoist, which is my to-do list application, for me to promote that YouTube video. It also creates a tweet, so I actually have an automated tweet that goes out that promotes the video. Then also I run a bit of JavaScript. Again, this is a bit advanced, but this is just for formatting. And then the actual video will also be uploaded to my website as a blog post with the the YouTube description as the content. And it will also automatically set up the categories based on the YouTube title. So it will look at the YouTube title, and if that contains a certain keyword like Zapier, like Notion, like Elementor, then this video will land in this category on my blog as well. And these are just some of the ones that I use. There's also one I've set up for a good friend of mine that runs an agency, and they have got a really complex onboarding workflow that takes in form entries and then creates all these different projects in their time tracking tool, in their Google Drive, in their Slack channel, and all these different things, and then automatically sends emails to automate the entire onboarding workflow for their clients. So there's lots and lots of ways you can use this. It's especially good for business use, but there's a ton of different ways you can automate things. And I really hope this was a helpful tutorial to you. If you want to see more videos about Zapier, then please subscribe to the channel. Also leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye.